Okay, a lot of things to explain this deck. First, I'm sure you must be wondering, what the hell is this? Water Spirit. The ancient water spirit haunts the glacial monoliths of Antarctica. It has the power to seep into the pores of any substance and chill it to the bone. So why the fuck are we running this? Well, you are looking at the only two level 1 water tuners in the game. This vanilla and Lady of Lake, which first line of text says cannot be used as a synchro material except for the synchro summon of a warrior type monster. So really, we're using our level 1 tuners in conjunction with Kashtira monsters to make Pega. So clearly this won't do. So this is really the only card in the existence in the entire game that fills this role. So why does it need to be? Why does the Aqua part matter? Well, we don't have Murrays anymore. So you're gonna notice if you play Tier, a deck that already was kind of short on names, that you need just more things you can use to fuse into Kid Kalos with. Like this is a Aqua monster. Like if you go into Pepega, right, and you mill 5, if you don't have this, you're gonna have to mill 2 tier names. 2 tier names in 5 mills. Which is, that's nowhere near guaranteed. And the great thing about this is you normal summon, you special summon a Kashtira monster, you normal summon this, you make the Pega ruler, you mill 5, you just need to mill 1 tier name, and then you make Kikalos using this and the tier name you milled. So this doubles up as material, as the level 1 tuner for the Chaos ruler, and as the Aqua monster for Kikalos. And like, don't at me or anything, this is by far the best normal summon in the deck, 100% unironically. Because, the problem with tier now is without the Merly, Rhinoheart is something you don't want to normal summon, because if you normal summon Rhinoheart to make your Kikalos, then what are you going to summon off Kikalos, right? Because you already used the Rhinoheart effect, and neither Sharon nor Happiness have effects when summoned. So you would be milling 5. If you want to mill 5 with the Kikalos, you would just be summoning a vanilla, right? But if you normal summon Water Spirit, you make Pepega, you mill 5, and you make Kikalos off that, then your Kikalos is free to summon the Rhinoheart because you did not use Rhinoheart to make it, and then you get a guaranteed dump of a name so that you can guarantee a second fusion. So yes, normal summoning Water Spirit better than Rhinoheart as a normal summon. You heard it here. And onto that, obviously we need more than just Water Spirit. It's only 2 cards in our deck. You do run Effect Veiler because this is the only level 1 tuner that's a hand trap, and it's also a light for Chaos Ruler, which is important because why would you not want to summon this back if you could, right? So yeah, that's Effect Veiler being a light monster. It's also, you can add this off Chaos Ruler and just get an extra interruption from a hand trap like that for free. And then Jet Synchron, technically Jet Synchron has the highest ceiling of all the tuners because after you make Pepega, you can then revive Jet Synchron, and then you use Jet Synchron and Pepega, and you turn into a hot Red Dragon Archfiend, so you get an on negate. But here's the thing, because you don't have to start with Jet Synchron. Like, you don't have to normal summon Jet Synchron. You can simply, over the course of your turn, over your, anywhere from 8 to 10, 13, 19 mills, you can just mill this, and then you can just summon this back from the grave that way. And so it is still better to normal summon Aqua Spirit, because Jet Synchron, you can't make a Callus with this if you start with this, so you're gonna have to mill better with the Pega if you want to start your plays. But yeah, I'm just saying. And for the Kashtira monsters, so you run the 5 good ones, quote unquote good ones. Unicorn is okay. It's not, the best card in the world, but you do need the level 7 bodies. And Unicorn adds Birth, which is really cool because during your turn you're gonna mill a lot. So if you mill any more Kashtira monsters, you can just use Birth them back. And then 2 Ogre. Ogre is honestly really terrible, and the fact that I'm not running Grief because of room issues makes Kashtira Ogre basically just a vanilla. You kind of have to run this because you want to You still want more names to mill so you can revive off birth, I guess, but maybe you don't need this. Maybe you just run Ascend of Thunder instead, because that's a light. I'm not running preparations because preparations is really bad. It's like really win more. The only time... Hold on. The only time that preparations is live is if you resolve all your combo and then you milled a ton of cards and then you have Snow Engrave on top of it and then Snow banish your Kashtira monsters so then you can summon them back to Kashtira. That's so win more at that point because you've already done your entire tier combo and you've milled cards so that you have Snow Engrave. You probably have your tier back row because you milled all your cards. So this is... You never need this when it's live, and when it's not live, it's terrible because that means you couldn't play the game. So this does not help you play the game, play through disruptions, or like even do anything on its own at all. It's really bad. Honestly, probably maybe even just cut Ogre and run like Ascend of Thunder or stuff like that. Because without, so I'm not running this. This is like really bad. Yeah, maybe that'll be an adjustment in the future. But yeah, that's why we run the level 7 engine combined with the level 1 tuners is to make Pepega, which is the core of the deck. The tier, you want to start with Kashtiras and level 1 tuners. The actual tier monsters are what you do after you see what you mill off Pepega, or they're your plan B when you don't open the combo. And I will... Don't worry, I will definitely show you a replay that shows off how the combo works. But yeah, we're running just the rest of the tier names that are legal. And the rest of the Ishizu names that are legal. Plus Snow, because Snow is still legal. Plus the screen of Per Rhino. Only 2 traps because of room issues. And the next thing, I guess it's gonna cause some questions is the extra deck. Like, where the hell are Mudragon and Garura? Okay, so this build is not running Super Poly. If you run Super Poly, which is an option, obviously you would play these, but extra deck space is kinda tight, as you can tell. And without Merly, you're losing an entire fusion a turn. So the opportunity cost to go for a Mudragon or a Garura over an actual tier fusion now is actually huge. Like, if you make Garura, you're basically foregoing Roll Hollows or Kaleido Heart, and does that sound worth it most of the time? Probably not. On top of Mudragon, there's actually no main deck Dark Monsters in here without Bystials, so you can't even really make this. The only 2 targets that you can make this are from your extra deck, or the only targets that allow you to make Mudragon are from your extra deck. So like Redoer, Zero Pros, Pepega. I mean, it is funny. You can fuse a tier name with Pepega to put the Pepega back, and then summon it again in the same duel, and then mill another 5. That's really funny, but I don't think that's personally very necessary or even good of a play. So without running these 2, there's more room for other stuff. Still run these 4 staple fusions. Obviously the Chaos Ruler, and the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend is to combine with the Chaos Ruler. You can revive back Jet Synchron, or you can revive a level 1 tuner off of Cross Sheep, which I'm gonna get into this later. Cross Sheep is maybe the most important part of the deck. Baron, when you revive, you can revive Ash with Cross Sheep, and then Baron plus a Kashtira monster that you revive off birth is 7 plus 3 is 10, so that's Baron, rank 4s. So here's the... Obviously this is not a super serious Kashtira, or it's a super serious Tearlaments deck. This is more using, because it's the beginning of the season, so we're just playing goofy options. The rest of the cards in the X deck is what are legitimately good in any Tearlament deck. I would run these next cards in pretty much any Tearlament build, regardless if they're serious, no matter how serious they are. First off are the Zodiacs. because we don't have Merly, or we're not running Elf or Sprint because no Merly anymore. So the Zodiacs come in, and Zodiacs are great. Borbal allows you to make go into a 4 materials use now instead of just like a 3 materials use. So that's really that's really nice. As Zodiacs just allow you to out a bunch of shit then. Pretty much anything you want to out, such as, you know, if people think they're cute with Avermax, you just attack directly with Borbal and forget about it. Dryden is a crap card because it is a disruption on your opponent's turn. It's a quick play pop, but more often than not, you're going to use Dryden to pop your own cards, and that's what makes it broken. You can use it to pop Kaleido Heart, and then Kaleido Heart Foolish Barrels any tier card. That's an insane play. You can kill your own screen if you want. Add a trap. That's an insane play. On follow-up turns, you can kill your own Sulliek to get guaranteed follow-up on the next turn. Insane play. You can pop your own leftover tier names on board to fuse. That's an insane play. And then it gets even better when you add Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is that Sprite Elf replacement. This is just basically Elf without the targeting protection. Since the idea is you summon one of your tier fusions, roll call as Kaleido Heart, to a zone Cross Sheep points to, and then you leave the other zone open. And then you can just summon, anytime you summon another monster zone, because Cross Sheep is already pointing to roll calls to a fusion monster, you get to revive a level 4 from the grave for free. On your turn, that's nice, is you just get more material. You know, you can revive your tuners to make your synchros and set up your board. On your opponent's turn, you leave the zone open, and then anytime you can summon Halfness, you can summon Snow, you can summon Rollcallows, and this is where Drying comes in, because you can pop your own tier monsters, you can pop your own Rollcallows to summon back to a zone that Cross Sheep points to at any time, and when you do, Cross Sheep can revive a level 4 monster in grave. So then you revive Rhino Heart on your opponent's turn, and then Rhino Heart will dump a tier name, and then you can fuse on your opponent's turn, which is essentially just doing the same job that Elf does. Instead of doing Elf, revive Merly, you're doing Cross Sheep, revive Rhino Heart on your opponent's turn as a form of disruption. And that's basically impossible for any deck to play through. Like, if you this deck auto what wins if it sets up its board, it's like it's as unbreakable as it was pre-BANLIST. Like, just imagine you summon Snow to Cross Sheep zone, you book your opponent's monster, then you Cross Sheep revives Rhino Heart makes Kikalos into Dragos Apelia, you have a Dragos Apelia, then you Sulliek and you send the Snow back to the grave, and then you Snow again. Like, it's ridiculous, right? And after doing all that, you're gonna have hella banished cards, and then Zerboros is just gonna one-shot your opponent for game. So yeah, this is the goofy approach to playing tier post BANLIST, and personally, obviously, I don't think it's the best way to play tier post BANLIST. Not at all. I'm gonna probably do a more serious tier build that I'm gonna test by climbing the master rank with and all that stuff. But I had a lot of fun in this build, and I'm gonna show you how this deck works in the replay. So this is a replay that showcases me pulling off the combo. We're going second, and we're draw phasing max seed because of the Kashtira stuff. Of course, it doesn't resolve, but you know, you just gotta, you just gotta do it for the show. Our opponent's playing P.U.N.K, which summons Sharakuzai. We get Havnist. I'm gonna Havnist them. Debatable whether this is correct. Of course, they have the Maxi as well. Debatable again whether that's correct, because they don't know that I'm not a Merly, but the fact that I'm not a Merly makes it unlikely for me to hit anything. Like so, I don't hit anything at all. But here's the funny part about the P.U.N.K board, is that after they do the Rising card thing and they go into the Wagon, add the field spell, and go jam Dragon Drive. Summon back the Shark, Guzai adds Yamen, then draw a card and set, and surely they could have done something a bit more than this, because this board loses to the have this on board, like literally right here. Like I don't know, summon Yamen, make a rank 3 or something. Like this just this is a so we heartbeat. I'm trying to discard the Kelbeck and they chain cross out. So I don't know why they call it Max C. They just, first of all, I could chain Max to it. Second of all, now I'm not worried about Max C. So we enter battle phase. That's gonna bait out the Shark Guzai, because otherwise it's just gonna get run over, and they're gonna go into Amazing Dragon and bounce back to have this. This I don't understand, because this have this. Okay, whatever. So main phase 2, that allows me to summon Fender, get Unicorn. The opponent has no more interruptions, so normal Jet Synchron. We're off to the races. Chaos Ruler, Mill 5. Hit Sharon, Rhino, and Scream. We're just better. This is a misplay. Don't. I misclicked. You're not supposed to add the Sharon in this scenario. It's supposed to just let it go to the grave. Don't add anything and just let the Sharon trigger and keep the Rhino Heart in grave to summon. That would allow me to add another interruption or add something else off of the Kit Kellos. But since I accidentally added Sharon to hand, where I have to trigger the Rhino Heart and trigger the Scream. So Scream is gonna get us the Sulliak, and then Rhino Heart is gonna summon this up. I'm gonna pitch the Happiness, trigger Happiness. I'm not gonna use Rhino Heart. And we're gonna go into Kit Kellos this way, and then Kit Kellos will add Rhino Heart. If I could have added Scream, I didn't add the Sharon by accident, but it's fine. Then Kit Kellos summoned the Rhino Heart we just added. Now we're gonna trigger Rhino Heart because it's guaranteed. And because you only have 2 fusers now, you always make Rhino Heart as the higher chain link, because you only have 1 target to dump, and that's the fusion name that the tier you didn't use the fusion for yet. So I'm gonna use Sharon, fuse into Roll Kalos, Jet Synchron, discard Unicorn because it's not useful to us anymore. Blink into Cross Sheep with Chaos Ruler and Rhino Heart. Activate Sharon, pitch the Kelbeck, Mill 5. Chaos Ruler, summon back itself, banishing the Veiler that we milled into the Cross Sheep zone. Cross Sheep is going to trigger, summon back Rhino Heart. We're going to Synchro, Jet Synchron, and Chaos Ruler into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and then overlay into the Zodiac package, Chakanine, into Borbol, into Dryden. And this is the end board. Anytime you resolve Chaos Ruler, you should always be able to end on an end board like this. And we're gonna pop the Yukio. So this is actually about 7 interruptions right here. Obviously you have the Roll Kalos, the Hot Red, and the Dryden pop, right? You also have a well, we have a Shuffler too, by the way. We also have milled a Shuffler, but we also have a Snow Engrave. So during our opponent's turn, you can Snow, summon back Snow, summon to the Cross Sheep zone. Cross Sheep will trigger. That will summon Rhino Heart, and then Rhino Heart will trigger the Dumbatir name, and then you can fuse with the Rhino Heart. So we can fuse into a Kaleido to spin another card, and then if your opponent still has extension past that, you Sulliak your opponent's monster. Send the Snow that you summoned back to the grave, so then you can use Snow again, because we have 23 cards in the grave, so we can use Snow like 3 times. And nothing's playing through this. So the opponent's gonna E-Telly for Yamen, but you can literally just pop it, because we have more interruptions than they have cards in hand by far. We're gonna normal summon the Yamen, we're gonna Snow and summon to the Cross Sheep zone to summon the Rhino Heart, and yeah, it's over. They're not playing through that. Tier is dead, by the way. So next we have a more replay with more typical tier plays, none of the crazy Chaos Ruler stuff. And a lot of people are saying, well, tier of only 2 visors now, isn't that kind of mid, right? Especially if you open Rhino Heart, you just end on Sulliak Kit Kellos pass. And my response is, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Number 1, it is the best play in the Maxi. Out of any of the top meta decks, tier still plays the best in the Maxi, because you just give them 1 special summon to end on basically 2 interruptions. And Sulliak, if all you do is just Sulliak Kit pass, that's still crazy. Because you, off of one card, you end on a Sulliek, plus you mill 5 on your opponent's turn. And that can lead to more things, and you still have 4 other cards in hand. And our opponent, we're gonna maxi them. They're gonna let this resolve, you're gonna see why later. Special Fender, which is gonna hit screen, and we don't even hit anything off the screen, but we can still Sulliek the Fender with the Kit Kalos. And then, here's why they let the maxi resolve, because you can't call by the maxi, you have to call by the Kit Kalos, otherwise you're probably gonna lose off of the mill 5 with the Sulliek on board. So they let that go. Or well they called by the Grave Kit Kalos. And gonna trigger Foxy Tune. And here we have stuff we can draw into, such as Havness. Have another way to play on your opponent's turn. And hit a Sharon. Hit a Water Spirit 2. Clutch. Activate Sharon. Rhino Heart. Put back the Water Spirit. Go into Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart is gonna spin back the Xiamen. And you're gonna activate the Sharkusite. Send from their hand. And you know what that happens? Kekbek is a hand trap. So goodbye Rising Carp. They instant contact into Big Eye. Take the Kaleido Heart. Does not even matter at all. Because we have a... You can just make a Trident. And just pop the Kaleido Heart and get it back, and then get the Foolish effect, so... They don't want to Zeus, because if they Zeus, they just trigger everything anyways. Then apparently P.U.N.K is like the most popular engine in entire fucking game now, apparently. So Merly enables a lot of like the wombo combo stuff and like the multiple fusions and all that stuff, but you could also just play Tier as a control deck. And Tier cards, you know, they're still custom cards. They enable a very robust control strategy. The traps are insane. The fact that you play on your opponent's turn as much as your turn makes like Maxi, which is the most, 94% usage rate. It makes it matter less to you than any other deck. It's still fine, and the times you do combo off, you still end on an unbreakable board. So yeah, going forward, now that I think about it, Ogre is really bad. That pretty much only benefits you if you hard draw Birth and you don't open any Kashtira names and you somehow mill Ogre as your only mill. But if you're gonna run a level 7, just probably run Ascendant of Thunder. Like, I know this is kind of mean, but it's a light for Pepega, so that's automatically more useful than something reviving an Ogre would be. And as for the rank 7s, there's a couple times I missed a rank 7. I didn't actually end up needing it, but you definitely can make rank 7s with this build still. As in, when I say rank 7s, I mean you can make it a rank 7. So I wouldn't go Diablos, I would go Big Eye because it's more impactful if this is the only one you can make. And you could potentially cut either Zero Bros or Baron for Zero Bros is like an emergency out anything, but it's also just a game ender. And Baron is like the last piece of disruption on your board. It's usually like your 7th or 8th interruption on top of your 6th interruption board. And oftentimes you like that's really kind of win more. Honestly, you don't need like making a Trident instead of Baron is basically just as good most of the time already. You can even pop, both of them can even pop your own stuff anyway, so that's even the same utility. So you can, if you want, I would say cut a Baron to put in a rank 7 Xyz in case you open Kashtira heavy hands. But yeah, this is the this is Tier Cash, but Chaos Ruler Turbo whatever it's called. I will have an actual tier build that I'm just gonna seriously climb with during the course of the season. Later in the month, maybe I might even try to get the Master one with it. We'll see. Yeah, if you want to try this out, go have fun in the at the start of Diamond in the new season.